Hi, welcome to 1 Kings chapter 9, and this is just such a neat week and appropriate for where I am, and I'll tell you all about that in a minute. But the very first verse here in 1 Kings chapter 9 says, when Solomon finished. He's talking about when Solomon finished building the temple of the Lord, and how great there is actually an end to the things that God does call us to. That one day, when we think about the Great Commission, one day there will actually be an end, that we will stand before God and hear him say, hopefully, well done, good and faithful servant, and we'll get to share in his joy. But that's just refreshing, because sometimes in the battle as a Christian, it can feel unending, but this just shows us that there is an end. There will be an end. And the neat thing about this is right after he finished, the Lord appeared to Solomon. So how gracious is God that when we're done completing the task that he's given us, he does show up and he gives us the next task, right? So we could just be focused. Sometimes if we feel like we're not really hearing from the Lord, just keep on doing what we know he has called us to do. And it's kind of like a test, a trial. Will we keep pursuing him? Will we keep giving our wholehearted work and effort by the power of the Holy Spirit for the Lord, even if we don't have some experience with him, or even if we don't feel really deeply connected? Will we still give ourselves fully to him? Because in the end, God will show up and he'll give us the next step of what we need to do. But it goes on and it says, when Solomon's dedicating the temple and it's the Lord's response, he says this. This is what he says to Solomon. I have heard your prayer and petition you have made before me. How awesome. God hears us, okay? I have consecrated this temple that you have built. Wow, right? Okay, something that man made, God takes and he makes it something eternal. He goes on, to put my name there forever. All right, when God shows up and is part of something, it lasts forever. What we do doesn't last forever. So let me tell you where I am. I am at Three Trails Ranch. Behind me, there's the bunkhouse and the dining hall. And then over here we have the hotel. And then there's also a main lodge and a barn that needs torn down. But basically, this ranch was given to Master Plan Ministries, the ministry I work with, and it was so really a neat situation because somebody wanted to donate it to the ministry, but it would take $1 million to update it, to bring it up to code, because the major things were just not completed or were not done well. So kind of like the hotel over there that houses lots of people, the foundation just wasn't poured right, so it was actually falling down. They had to completely replace the roof and gut it, basically, and then redo the plumbing, redo the electric, things that are like super important. But that's what we've been doing. We got it. We were thinking, okay, can God provide $1 million to bring this place up to code? And guess what? He did. He's awesome at that. Just a few months he did provide and has provided since there's still major, things that need to be done with it. But basically, like, people gave their hard work effort, right, into building this place. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's like the things, I wish I could show you the inside, but like the molding and just the countertops and the way it's painted is so beautiful. People really gifted in design built it. But since the foundational parts were not stable, a lot of it had to be torn down and redone. And that's what we do, right? When we do things by our own effort, it's kind of in vain. But God can take what we do, just like this, like David building a temple, like in and of itself is really, it's just going to burn someday, right? But here is God of the universe showing up and saying that he's going to put his name there forever, that he's going to make it worth it. And God has something so much bigger in mind than just what we see. When we put our hands and our effort to something, we just can only see so far, but he sees eternal, and he wants to confirm the work of our hands. Like it says in Psalm 90, he wants to take the things that we do and he wants to make it last forever, which is amazing that the God of the universe can take the finite and bring out of them things that will last forever. So it's just a